Here's an average velocity application, which has social implications and probably personal implications if you're a person who likes to speed. So if you've ever driven on the highway past a sign that says speed monitored by aircraft, to know what this means, you shouldn't look up to look for the helicopter. We all know what an aircraft is. But what does it mean? This does not mean that there's a person in a helicopter pointing a radar gun at you. This means that there is on the road as you drive, and let's make it a yellow road. On the road, there will be, here, let's draw your car. Here, let's future car. Okay, so on the road, you will cross. I'm sorry, here's the sign that says exactly this: speed monitored by aircraft. Then you cross a white band in the road, something that's easily seen by Mr. Helicopter, and he hits the start button on his stopwatch. And then a mile down the road, you cross another white band, so you go 1 mile, and he hits the stop button on his stopwatch, and let's say he sees that it took you 60 seconds to go 1 mile. And let's suppose for whatever reason the speed limit was 45 miles per hour. Well, another guy over here, he calls his radio, and this man over here, Smokey, gives you a ticket for going 60 miles an hour. And why is that? Let's do the math. Your speed, your average speed, and I jump around and use speed and velocity. I'm going to keep using speed just because it's what we use. Velocity has a direction. Speed is an absolute. It comes into physics later to be very specific between speed and velocity. So I apologize if I'm changing these around, but it's speed is kind of what we all know. Your average speed is going to be your total distance, or your change in position, right? So you went 1 mile over the total time, so 60 seconds. So let me fill that in. 1 mile in 60 seconds. Well, he's going to give you a ticket in miles per hour, so we better figure out what this is in miles per hour. And this is sort of dimensional analysis, but we want to get miles over hours. So what do we do to this fraction right here? Let's multiply it by 1. Let's be very strategic in how we multiply it by 1. So let me bring it over here. We have 1 mile in 60 seconds. Well, the first fraction I want to multiply by is going to be how many seconds are there in an hour? There are 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Okay, these two this number, believe it or not, is 1, because if 3,600 seconds equals 1 hour, in fact, I did not multiply by any other number besides 1. Well, the next step is seconds cancel. We're left with 3,600 divided by 60, or 60 miles per hour. So you got a ticket for 60 miles per hour. And you could do this with whatever amount of time it takes to go that 1 mile. And you could do it with different distances too. Let's talk about the social implications of this. Some, including myself, have argued that instead of having speed traps where you have a man in a car right here with his very smoky, with his radar gun, when everybody drives along here, they immediately see him and they slow down, right? So instead of this, why not, on the thruway, say, you get your ticket, and this is all over the computer. I mean, it's all over the internet, or it can be transmitted electronically. Instead of this situation, you have toll booth, no matter what distance this is. You could have your policeman right here. You might see where I'm going with this already. You could have your policeman right here at the toll booth. And if your average speed, so here's your time, right? Because they know what time you pass this point, and they know what time you pass this point, and the distance is easy to measure. He would just give you a ticket if your average speed was greater than the speed limit. Now, someone might say, okay, if I know my average speed when I get to right here, I'll just stop and I'll wait for however I need to go through this toll booth. Then I'll go through and I won't get a ticket. Well, then you're not speeding for any other reason except to go fast. If the major reason to speed is to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible, if that really is the intent of speeding, this is the safest way to measure someone's speed. Okay, I don't know if that's helpful.